Hi everyone, how's it going? Cliff here with another live stream. I'm just checking something to make sure that everything is working in terms of the chat. Okay, well, I do have some plans for today, and that is to try and do an edit like Liquid Verve. Go check her out, she's really good. My Instagram account, so if you do want to check it out, have a look at my work as a portrait photographer, as a Photoshop retoucher, and check out this account. Cliff Creates, just like on Twitch. Same name for most places except for Twitter. Twitter's the only one which has a different name, and that is Cliff_Creates. But you'll be able to find me on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, Instagram. Instagram is where I share all my work. That's the place to go check out if you did want to have a look. Here's Liquid Verve's Instagram stories. And she actually has editing steps from like the before photo on the left hand side. That is her raw file. Looks pretty good as is. Model's beautiful, gorgeous. Blonde hair. I like the little thing she's doing with her, what's that? The lip biting thing. Before photo looks great. After photo looks like even better, looks very cinematic, I think. I'm going to try and do something like that with one of my photos. So I had a quick look through all my selection of photo shoots they've done, try to find something that's similar to this. Well, let's look through the steps that she's provided. Okay, so she's got the raw file, sun diffuse by thin cloud layer. She's shooting with a Sony a7R II, lots of detail, 35mm f1.4. So what has she done? First set is to warm the temperatures, okay. Raw settings, shadows and highlights recovered. To recover the highlights, you would just bring those down within Lightroom if she's using Lightroom, and then you'd raise the shadows. Okay, we've got a little more detail here. It's definitely warmer. And then next up, hair liquefied. She does that a lot, I've noticed. You can see there's the shape here that's sort of more rounded, yeah. And then around there as well. Warm temperature set. Okay, read that. Hair liquefied, slight skin retouch, and makeup correction. Alright, I can't even see that. You need to zoom right to be able to. Okay, next up we've got background brightened to match. Okay. Oh, there's this thing here's gone as well. Down on the bottom. Okay, color midtones tinted gold. Alright. I don't know how you do that. Color balance tool, but to get it gold, maybe there's lots of ways you could do it. Midtones. Keep going. Back in Lightroom, grain added, exposure balanced, highlights tinted cool. Alright, more Lightroom, shadows tinted cool. Alright, and that was it. There's our inspo for today. Some of those things I don't know how she would have done it. There's just lots of ways you could do it, like with the tinting gold part. Let's make this smaller. Ta-da! Okay, now up here, this is the image I thought I would go with today. It's a photo from a while back. The Nifty Few Spring Tour event in Wellington. Nifty Few is a kind of community that we have here in New Zealand. I'm going to make that one bigger, like so, and then I need to fix my camera, make it a little bit smaller. That's good. Let's firstly crop the image because we want the correct dimensions for Instagram, and my go-to is 4x5, 8x10, like here. Now if I had lots and lots of time, I would get rid of this person here, maybe copy a portion from this set of steps and then place it here, or even with this part could copy and move it there. I'd probably do it within Photoshop. It's just much easier at removing stuff. And then we've got people just on the edge here, distracting. I think we've got something right here as well. I'd want to get rid of that. And then I've got a dude, some guy here. It's kind of my fault for I think I was so busy there was no way I could wait until they were all gone, kind of thing. Because it was a group shoot, lots of people taking photos of other models, you're just going to have people in the way, and there's things that you can do to work around it. But in this case we were in this particular space for only a very short time. Composition here is fine. I do like how I've got these points of interest, one on your leg, and then you got one going across here. This line would look better if it was like right on here, right across there, long hair leg that way, but it sort of goes across and then up to her shoulder, point of interest. Head's not on one of these, but I think for me it works. Click done, and I'll say, yep, okay, cool, we're good with that. And then let's go back, make this smaller. Actually, firstly, we want to try and warm the image up. Do that, we're going to go with the color temperature. I'm going to go right up to, wow, that's pretty high. 22,000. Let's do that. I wouldn't normally go that high. Exposure, I'm pretty happy with the exposure, but let's bump it up a little to there. Okay, so 0.20, and then let's recover some highlights. We'll bring those down a little. Let's go -23. I used to like pull this right down. Highlights and the whites, and then we're going to recover some shadows. So let's bring the shadows up a bit. Okay, 75. Sweet. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, hair liquefied. Now, I really need to do that with this one. Not really. But to liquefy, you need to be in Photoshop. I am going to say, yep, happy with this. I am going to go to our image, going to edit in Photoshop. You know, this time I'm going to go edit as a smart object in Photoshop. Usually I just go edit in Photoshop. I'm going to do it as a smart object. Now what we'll do is we're going to go to actions, and I have my action set available on my Discord if you did want to download that. Free to download, just need to join. I'm going to run the first action, which is frequency separation. Let's do that. And then I'm just going to check, see if we've got enough blur to remove any of the details out for our low frequency layer, which are all about color information, no details, and that looks like that's heaps, that's fine. So I'll click OK, and then that'll generate the rest of the steps for frequency separation. Now I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. We've got our low frequency layer there, we've got a high frequency layer. Let's have a look at the high frequency layer, which is just our details. And you might have noticed there also with my action, it creates a side-by-side view. That way you can have a reference image that you can refer to and look back on if you've done too much when you're zoomed in super close like I have here on the right hand side. And here, actually I could remove this guy. Just going to press S for the clone stamp tool, and then just need to remove the padlock there so I can edit this. You can do it this way with just 3 layers. I recommend not to do that though. But just to simplify things, I'm just going to go with the 3 layers that you see here. Now I'm going to click and sample that area, and then we're going to paint out the details of the sky and some of those hairs. Go up there, even higher. Now because I've got it set to current layer, you don't actually have to look at it like this. You can, I'll click the Alt, press and hold the Alt button, and then turn it on, and that way you can actually see what you're working on. And here I'm just slowly removing this guy, the details of the guy. Now what we should have left over is just color. Let's go to polishing. I'm going to press the B button for the paintbrush, and then what I'll do is I'll just sample this color, that creamy white color, and then paint this guy away. Goodbye, dude. And that's how I remove things, people, using frequency separation. Because any texture that's there is maintained on the high frequency layer. It's like it was never there. Now I can tell there's still some detail stuff there. So let's try and speed this up. So all the texture that was there of the guy, it's gone. And then you can just keep going. Now my flow is set to 3%. I'm going to reduce that even lower. And even right in here, there's still, it's not quite right. go back high frequency layer and make sure S is selected for the clone stamp tool. We'll select this part. It's kind of similar to what's here. You can see there's a slight preview there, and we'll kind of see if we can get rid of where that guy was right down here. And a little bit better. Try a sample from there, kind of like what's here. Back to polishing B and sample from that area. Alright, yeah, guy is decently removed. Could spend forever on it. Let's go back over here where this lady is, and, or I think it's a lady. Press, go to high frequency layer, and then make sure S is selected for the clone stamp tool. And I'm just sampling from there and trying to line it up. Okay, that should have done it. All right, and then just a matter of going back to our polishing layer and pressing B for the brush and painting here. Like, there's lots of transitions with the light and the colors. Actually, I'm going to rotate the image around. It's going to be easier to brush like this for me. Sample this sort of brownie color. Okay, and then that color over here on the left hand side, the reference image. You can still see a kind of shadow of that person when she was there. Going to go back to high frequency layer just to remove the shadow. Looks a little dark over here. I'm going to go back to polishing, press B for the brush tool, make our thingy smaller. And we'll just go painting. This is just the distraction removal part. Okay, it looks pretty good. Looks fine. on the left. Now we're going to go up here. I saw someone's head. Yeah, I think that's someone's head. And get rid of that too while we're at it. I'll look over here. Yeah, looks good. Good enough. And then right over here. Now there was something right here. Oh, that's another person. Man, where are these people coming from? Now I'm going to quickly check. Yeah, there are some hard lines there. Alright. We're gonna remove those. Getting there, getting there. Alright, I think we did it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Good enough. Okay. I'll press and hold Alt so everything's visible again, and then back to our polishing layer, press B for a brush, checking the reference image again. Now here I might rotate that way. Sample from another area. There's a bit of greeny, kind of a greeny color. It'll just look more natural if you just keep sampling. Now sometimes when I'm working around here, if I want to remove here, then because the hair that you can see, well, kind of just in this area is lighter than the background, then you can actually change the mode within your brush to either darken or lighten or darken to isolate just one specific thing that's against either a bright background or a darker one, and that will do a decent job of it. Though most of the time just sticking with normal is fine. All right, back here, and then B. Is yeah, this is just the very first step, blemish distraction removal that I'm working on. So we'll zoom out a little, and then we'll just see any lint on the shoes, a little bit here. So likewise, I think that's a details thing. So just go onto high frequency, press S for clone stamp tool, and then get rid of those linty bits. And just keep going. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just, yeah, I'm being finicky now. We'll skip dodge and burn, and we're going to go straight to coloring. We'll run the action for that. And that just creates a whole bunch of grouped folders here. And then we'll do my go-to, and that is to select the smart object and then go select from the menu and subject. I don't know if this works on a smart object. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. And it looks like it's done a decent job of selecting our model. A little bit there of the hair it didn't. I'll zoom in, and then using my pen and tablet, just going to press W, and we're going to extend that out a little. That's too much. Okay, that's better. Yeah, cool. And you can, of course, refine this selection as much or as little as you want. We'll go to subject, and then we'll select the mask, and that's created a mask for us. We'll go up to background. We'll create a mask there as well. We'll select the mask from the subject, press and hold Alt and drag that onto the background. Select the background mask, and then Control I to invert the mask. So now we've got a selection for both the subject and the background. Now we've got the subject selected. I'll create another group within this one, and for skin tones. This is where we're going to try and attempt that gold look, right? We've got that, and then we'll do another selection, and this time we're going to go color range. Gonna click the plus tool here, and we're just going to select the skin. Let's go with it. So what this has done is we've already got a selection for our model. That's going to make sure that the selection is only going to be based within the model, even though this here extended far beyond the bounds of the model. But using the select color range, what it's done is it's selected the colors, her skin tones, which is what we want to make that golden color, if we can, you know. And to do that, maybe color lookup, candlelight. Well, it's something. I don't know if we call that gold. Let's try changing the blend mode. Color, luminosity. Oh, actually, strange. It has created a kind of gold look for her. Okay, alright. I kind of like what soft light did. Yeah, let's try adjusting the fill. Where's our inspo again? It's mid-tones tinted gold. I don't really do it on the mid-tones. Actually, let's just apply it to that one. And then we'll move the color lookup out and get rid of the group. I need to add a levels adjustment layer. Actually, I'll try curves instead. I like levels. I use it too much. Let's change the blending mode for this to hue. Let's do that. Back to our inspo. Mid-tones tinted gold. Okay. Try that. Grain added, exposure balanced, highlights tinted cool. Okay, right. All of that I'm going to do within camera raw. Darken. Background darkened to match. Okay, so let's try and match our background. I've got the background layer. And then this time I'll use the levels adjustment layer, and that is right here. And then we'll just bring this down, that in, and then we'll bring this across. No, we'll bring that over there. And then we'll change the blending mode. Let's go with luminosity, and we'll adjust the fill. And then I think I need to create a curves adjustment layer for everything and bring the overall brightness up because I think it's a little too dark. Okay, I think we're getting there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Just checking the shoes if we've lost any detail by going a little too dark there. No, it looks good. Can still see pattern in the shoe. Okay, cool. Next up, now we'll go to our camera raw. To do that, I've got my last action here, which is to minimize this thingy. Final adjustments, we'll run that. And that'll take a moment. That'll create a stamp visible layer into a smart object, and the final step, it'll create the camera raw filter that you see here. And then this is where we can go through all those things. Now, what do we need to do again? Oh. Okay, that's not good. My camera just turned off. It said battery exhausted. Okay, everyone, I don't know why my camera turned off. It just did. I've got a little placeholder image here instead. Let's see. Adjust the exposure and then highlights tinted cool. I don't know if I can do that within camera raw. I'll give it a go. I think I've got a few ideas, but exposure is easy enough. Just go to basic, and then the exposure is sort of in the middle. Now we could try bumping the overall exposure up. Okay, and then reduce the blacks a little. Now, when I first started, I used to use the vignetting tool almost all the time. I thought it looked cool. I have since learned well to hold back on the vignetting, especially around the edges where it's well lit. When you add a vignette, it starts looking weird like that. See how that's dark when it shouldn't be? You can overcome that by bringing up highlights, so you still have the lights in the parts that should be brighter, but everything else that's dark is still dark. This image, I'm going to leave it. I'm just pretty happy with it. I mean, I could just bring it in a little, and then maybe the midpoint, bring that in as well. Highlights, yeah, almost always have it to 100. Probably go with that. Maybe bring that up a bit, and I'm going to leave everything else. The other thing, what was it? Cool. I want to add cool to the highlights. Highlights tinted cool. Okay, all right. To do that, I'm thinking using the curve tool within here, and then let's try adding some blue. Blue to the highlights, and then bring this in. So there's one to the highlights. Okay, there's it's slightly cooler. And then shadows tinted cool. Yeah? So I'll put that right in the middle, and then a strange curve. Let's try bringing that up. See that being added to the blacks. We don't really want to do that. Oh, that's it. Okay, all right. Now there's her before, and that's her after. Before, after, before, after. Okay, all right, cool. And let's go here. Click OK. That'll apply those changes to our thingy. And then we'll get rid of one of these because we don't want to take up all that space when we make this smaller. And then we will move this a bit and then zoom out as well. And here is my before and after. It's not like a true before and after, because in this case, this is what it looked like after my initial changes within Lightroom. So there were some changes there, but this is first adjustments within Lightroom into Photoshop, and then this is the after. So before, you can definitely see with the people removal, lots of work there. That's the most obvious thing. I can also tell that my colors aren't a golden look. Hers are definitely golden. Mine kind of look more rose gold. I think that might have to do with the Panasonic colors as well. Panasonic tends to make things more magenta with skin tones. But yeah, that is my attempt to try and do an edit like Liquid Verve Alex from Instagram. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I think I got a long way to go before I get to kind of her level. Her eye for colors is pretty amazing. That was my 1 hour edit done in, I think this was more like 90 minutes. 90 minutes seems to be the length of time it takes me to do one of my edits if I try and be fast. Thank you, everybody. You'll see me next time. I stream 3 times a week, today being Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 6 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. If you did want to hang out, chat, chill, whatever, then come join me. Hope you have a good day, good night, good rest of your week, and I'll catch you later.